Number 207 in the indicator range is Criminal Code. From 1930, directed by Howard Hawks, this is a tale that's kind of all about the prison system and people who are locked away there. It's a kind of easy watch movie that doesn't really offer much in the sense of deep thinking. It has some on the nose kind of thematics, but in the hands of Howard Hawks it creates a kind of entertaining piece. We follow a young man, Robert Graham, who has had a night out that has turned deadly. You know, he's got into an altercation, some things have transpired. This is completely out of character for this person. He understands the ramifications of what's happened, but he just can't take back what has happened. He's nice, he's polite, he's got a good background, and he bumps into Mark Brady, who is the district attorney, and he kind of talks to him, and he likes him. You know, you can tend to tell that there's a little bit of appreciation from this character about this man in the way he handles himself. He understands that it's a kind of accident, but his job is to put away the criminals. And when Robert leaves the room, he kind of talks to his co-worker and just says, you know, I could defend that case. That's an easy one to argue out of. I hope he gets a good attorney, because you could really put me against the coals, because, you know, you could argue self-defence. But when it goes to trial, he hammers him. He gets him the maximum sentence, 10 years in prison. And for the next while, we follow Robert's character as he goes into the system, as he is trapped and confined within this small cell, which really is filmed terrifically well. It feels claustrophobic. There is very little light. There is 3 people in this room, and only 2 can be standing at any one point because of the lack of space. And these people are pretty much living out each other's pockets. Luckily enough, they like each other. They have a little bit of rapport, and they kind of talk through. One of Robert's cellmates turns out to be Boris Karloff, who in a wonderful role as a kind of heavy within the prison system, who is looking for revenge against the person that put him in there, which happens to be an officer. 6 years into Robert's 10-year sentence, he's been worn down. He's a shadow of the person he used to be. His mother has died. He's missed out in all that time. He's now alone, and he's starting to really just fall apart as a person. We get Mark Brady now, who's lost out in the governorship, who comes in as the warden of this prison and doesn't really remember many of the people that he put away, even though he's put the bulk of the people in this jail in prison. And he kind of reconnects with Robert, realises what the person he was and how he looks now, and tries to give him a break. And it's really kind of fun watching these characters realise their decisions and how it's ultimately affecting their life. Both Robert, which is a more of an immediate effect that he has had on himself and the ones that he loved, and we have a more long-term realisation in the form of Mark, who's realised that his tenacious ability and always chasing for the maximum sentence doesn't have the best intentions for some of these people. Some of these people do not deserve the kind of sentences that they've had, and it's watching them both come to that realisation and try and help each other a little bit. When it gets to the end, it becomes a little bit more plot driven, creating a problem that needs to be resolved. It puts everybody at odds and then gets wrapped up in a rather neat bow at the end of it as well, and a little bit saccharine and a little bit formulaic in that way. But I kind of enjoyed this movie. I loved seeing Karloff in it. I loved the 2 main actors. I thought they were great. And it's a little pulpy tale that's enjoyable, but ultimately forgettable. Nowhere is near as good as 20th Century, the other Hawks movie released by Indicator this month as well. I would love to know your thoughts on Criminal Code. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.